What? Happy Monday, everybody. We are live.
Alrighty. Today, Ryan and I are here to talk to you about our protein. So we're going to give you some facts first off about protein. Protein is essential for muscle growth, metabolism, sleep, immunity, weight loss, muscle gain. We know that. Protein is one of our macronutrients, and macros are three major groups of nutrients that our bodies need to survive, to get energy from calories. Those are protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So we need this every single day. It's part of a basic diet, but unfortunately, 1 billion people worldwide suffer from protein deficiency.
Whoa.
It's pretty crazy.
A lot of food insecurity.
Yes. 1 in 3 adults over 50 are not getting enough daily recommended amount of protein.
Why is that? Due to appetite?
Yes, you've got to get this from your diet. And when I talk about this daily recommended, I guess allowance,
RDA,
okay,
yeah.
RDA,
Yeah.
it's only 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, this RDA is based on like the very lower end of the scale. This also takes into account malnourished people, sick. I mean, it's an average of the whole population.
Well, yeah, and it's for sedentary individuals.
Right. Now, do we want those goals?
Mm-mm.
Do we want goals to just survive, or do we want goals to thrive?
Thrive. I want to thrive.
So really, what we need is, on average, and you could even go a little higher than this, but on average, 1 gram of protein per pound.
That's a lot
of body weight.
That's a lot. That's hard to do.
It is very hard to do.
Challenging.
So if you think of that, let's just take me for an example.
Right.
I'm 130 pounds.
Okay.
To get 130 grams of protein in my day without eating a ton of calories that are going to overshoot how many calories I should actually be having in a day, it's extremely hard.
Yep.
That's why adding in a protein powder is so many things. It's essential. It's convenient. I don't know what else. I mean, it's just, it's a no-brainer.
It's a supplement. It's a perfect
supplement.
Yep.
It's really a no-brainer to be consuming this at least 1 time a day. I mean, for Ryan and I, we're typically taking this 1 to 3 times a day. So if you want to think about protein, what happens to our body as we age, after about age 30, our muscle mass starts to decline about 3 to 8% per decade. And that also accelerates by about age 70, we start to lose our muscle mass at about 15%. I mean, that's crazy. So if we continue to just keep going down, which is just the natural aging process, unfortunately, we have to work that much harder to get our protein content up. And the only way to do it, guys, is from your diet. Okay, so with this protein powder here, I just want to let you know right off the bat, it is only 106 calories, but you get 20 grams of protein. Quality protein that Ryan's going to go into the nitty-gritty of our protein powder and the specifics of it. And also just real quick, when eating protein, it actually makes you feel fuller, so you end up eating less throughout the day. It increases your satiety hormones, your hormones of feeling full. Okay, so there's a lot of times where people say, "Oh, I went out to lunch and I had a salad." Maybe nothing on, just a bunch of greens. Oh, that's great. But then 30 minutes to an hour later, I'm starving. Well, there's nothing to help keep your body full. You've got to add that protein in there. You will notice that you will be able to eat these nice solid meals if you include protein in those meals. So Ryan, let's go ahead and take it over to you to talk about quality of protein.
Yeah, happy to do it. There was a lot in that intro, Lise, for sure. And it's funny, we both are very passionate about protein. This is an absolute passion project for me, but I want to touch on a couple of things Lisa said. That recommended daily allowance, first of all, the things we're saying, like when we say we aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, that is personal for us. We're not suggesting that's health advice for you individually. Everybody's going to be different, but what we are saying is that we think that RDA is like the basic, the lowest number to prevent malnutrition, right? And that's like, oh, okay, if you eat if you're a woman, if you eat 46 grams per day, or a man eating 56 grams per day, that, oh, you won't become gravely ill or sick due to protein insufficiency. I mean, that's basically what the guideline is saying. And they're doing it for sedentary people. Like, what kind of goal is that? That sounds so ridiculous to me. It's like, here's a money market account. It takes $1,000 to open it. You get 4.5% interest. and your goal is just going to be the $1,000 and that's it. No, it should be the 250,000. That's the FDIC limit, right? It's insured. You should always have a goal to thrive and to get better in life. And I really believe that protein is the one macronutrient that we are under consuming and is pretty much underappreciated widely.
100%.
Like, yeah, right. All right, so a couple things about protein. Protein quality is determined really by two aspects: its amino acid profile and its absorption. For years, whey protein was the leader. Like, there was really no real disputing it. I mean, a lot of the plant-based proteins just weren't touching it, couldn't compare in both amino acids and absorption. The only plant that could compare was soy, but we're not seeing soy as a much desirable protein anymore,
right,
for the most part, right?
Sure.
So how do they determine that, though? There's actually a scoring, and it's called the PDCAS, right? It's the protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. So they'll score that on your amino acid profile. Now, if it contains all 9 essential amino acids in appreciable amounts that are considered minimum requirements, then it could be considered a complete protein. And that's what we call this, the LiveGood complete plant-based protein, which previously plant proteins weren't really considered complete. They'd have to merge or combine multiple plant proteins and try to get their amino acid score better. But then they had the major problem of absorption, digestibility, and all of those different things. And we're not opposed to whey protein. We'll talk. We got a question a lot about that. We'll address that here in a little bit.
Sure.
But so talking about those two things. Well, basically, how did we get there? How did we get to having a plant-based protein that is a perfect score of 1.0 on the PDCAS? That's the highest score you can get. Whey protein has a PDCAS of 1. I guess soy we could considerably a 1. And now this product, this fermented pea protein, is a 1. And that's a fantastic achievement. And we're very, very, very pleased. We're thrilled to be able to have this product. So, and we did that because we selected a fermented pea protein. If you look at the label, the supplement facts, which I always recommend you do, you'll notice that there's 2 types of proteins in this complete plant-based protein. There is a fermented pea protein and a USDA certified organic hemp seed protein. Now, the fermented pea protein is sort of like the secret weapon for me. Should we go into the detail now?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. The reason why it's so awesome is because they use a fermentation process. They use mushroom mycelia. Mushroom mycelia is like the stuff that you would like encounter on the forest floor around trees and around mushrooms that decomposes organic matter. And they use that to break down the pea. And it breaks down like the excess carbohydrate layer. So it does all these crazy things. The fermentation process does. It reduces the carbohydrate layer, so therefore opens it up and expands the dry weight basis of the protein. Again, it makes it way more comparable to whey. Whey had been the only leader in this area for a long time. Like 90% of it was considered protein. Now, on a dry weight basis, this is about 84, 85%. Very good, like excellent. It also reduces all of the less desirable characteristics on the protein. So it increases absorption. Remember, going back to the quality score, it increases absorption and digestibility. It increases the flavor profile. It increases the solubility in water. It reduces anti-nutrients. That's like a weird word. People hear that for the first time. Anti-nutrients, and that's exactly true. It's usually like a natural plant defense mechanism to prevent bacterial infections and different like invaders and predators. But what ends up happening is when we consume certain plants, they have anti-nutrients. They're called phytates or oxalates, or what was the other one? Lectins. Yeah. Tannins. But the fermentation process reduces these. Reduces the lectins by up to like 95%. Dramatically. Reduces the phytates by over 50%. So now we're talking about a completely different animal, right? It's like way, 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 way superior to a standard pea protein. Mm-hmm. And that's like awesome. Secret weapon. So it makes me so proud to have this product. You notice I didn't say the whole product is USDA certified organic. I said the USDA, the hemp seed protein is.
And why is that?
Well, the hemp seed, first of all, I want to just comment on hemp seed. Like hemp seed historically doesn't have that great of a protein weight on a dry weight basis. That's fine though, because it's high in vitamin E, it's high in fiber, it's high in essential fatty acids. I mean, it has just a great nutrient profile. It's awesome on the taste, the texture, the aroma. Like the hemp seed is fantastic. It really is a beautiful addition to this product. But the reason why this whole product is not USDA certified organic is because of that fermented pea protein. Our raw ingredient supplier is not a USDA certified organic facility, and I'm totally okay with that. I am a stickler big time for making sure when I went, like, certain foods qualify as USDA certified organic. Like, you know, we subscribe to that with the Dirty Dozen. If there's certain things in our house, it just have to be. And I would love this product to be, don't get me wrong, but it's not because the supplier's not, it's because I know them. I know their sourcing, I know their process, I know their product, I know their people. Like, I know everything about it. And it was just a business decision on their part. At the end of the day, they have a superior product that would pass flying colors, I'm sure, for USDA certified organic certification. Maybe in the future, I hope they do, but as of right now, they do not. So we are not.
And sometimes that's just a financial thing, right?
For sure, businesses, they make that financial decision early on. I mean, I'm not in their mind. I don't know.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's just a little example of where that happens often is like when we all go to local farmers markets, and some of these farms are not certified organic, but their stuff could be. It's just as clean as USDA organic, but it costs them a lot of money. And they know their product, they stand by their product, and then they chose not to do it. So it's kind of a similar situation.
I agree. I totally agree.
So you went
let's
through
pause.
the pea,
Yep.
the hemp,
Yep.
the fermented.
Mhm,
You said
mhm.
it contains all of our amino acids.
Yeah, oh yeah,
All
sure.
of
Has a PD-CAS score of 1. That's a big deal. That's the perfect score. So
How
we're
can
going to
you
talk
use
a little
it?
bit about
Well, I can, a few,
Go ahead.
okay, so how can we use the protein as a meal replacement? Very good question, because this is what I do for my breakfast. I actually do 2 scoops of the protein, and I put our super greens in there as well. Another favorite thing I love to add into it is coffee, our coffee. And I put some frozen blueberries, if you really wanted to, you could throw a handful of spinach, whatever kind of works for you. You can get some healthy fats in there, buy a quarter an avocado. Check out on our, it's on our social media if you scroll through, but I actually did a video of me making one that's as a meal replacement, but you just need to add a little bit more to it. So again, double scoop of the protein, add some berries in there, get some quality fats. You can either maybe a scoop of almond butter or organic peanut butter, whatever you like, or quarter an avocado. Make it enough so it's actually enough calories to qualify as a meal, and also has your perfect macronutrient profile. I always say that you really should be getting about 40 grams of protein per meal, and then doubling that scoop gives you 40 grams of protein right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great question.
So for me though, I weigh a little over 200 pounds, like 210 pounds. For me to get 210 grams of protein in a day is seriously a major challenge. 1 egg is 6. What's an equivalent of a scoop of protein powder for us? 20 grams of protein. So 3 ounces of salmon, 4 ounces of chicken. So, you know, like you said, if I had to eat whole food to hit my protein goals, there'd be a lot of calories, right? I would be blasting through calories.
It's hard to do.
It's hard to do. So the protein as a supplement to a healthy, well-balanced, like nutritional plan is where it's at. Notice I didn't say diet, but yes, it's certainly a beautiful supplement to that. One thing I didn't say, Lisa, I want to comment on though, why is protein so important? You started with the macronutrient, we get that. But protein is the building block of life. Like it absolutely is. It's the amino acids of the protein. And what does it do? I mean, it makes our blood, it makes our skin, our hair, our nails, our tissue. It makes hormones. I mean, hormone dysregulation is super common now. I mean, big time, especially you talk about as people are aging. I have to squat to get in the frame. You know, and it makes enzymes, it makes neurotransmitters. So think about like, you know, just serotonin, dopamine, you know, just important mood-based neurotransmitters. It is good for gut health. It's good for gut lining. I mean, there's all these different things that it's responsible for. So I wanted to make that clear for people that just are not getting enough protein in their diet. Chronic malaise, like they just feel sluggish and tired all day.
Right. Well, I was going to say, well, when somebody 9.9 times out of 10, when somebody's giving me some type of health condition,
Right.
My answer is, are you getting enough protein?
Yeah.
I want to lose weight. Are you getting enough protein? I'm having trouble sleeping. Are you getting enough protein? I have no energy. Are you getting enough protein? My skin is dry. Are you getting enough protein? I mean, it is involved in everything. Like it is so essential.
Yeah, it is.
So important.
So, and I get this question a lot too, like what are the downsides if we're consuming too much protein? Well, if you have renal insufficiency, which is a kidney problem, if you have kidney disease, you should be careful with too much protein. But again, to have a negative like consequence of too much protein would be a lot of protein. But speak with your provider, your doctor, if you've got kidney disease. Other than that, nothing really. It's just digestibility. That's the whole point. And now for the cost point, Lisa will talk about that in a moment. But like, what's the downside? I don't understand it. If you are even asking yourself, do I get enough protein? Like, that's the question you should ask yourself. Am I consuming enough protein? If you don't know the answer, I almost guarantee you, you're not. Like, to even think about it, because to track it is easy, but most people do not track it.
Right.
You know, they're just not tracking their protein. And I guarantee you, you start increasing your protein. Now, things don't happen by magic. This isn't like a magic bullet for like weight loss and building lean muscle. But the whole point of the conversation around protein is all the things I just mentioned, everything from hair, skin, nails, and everything. But it's also to increase lean muscle mass. And we preach this a lot. But by building lean muscle mass and maintaining lean muscle mass and reducing the amount of body fat we had is going to set your body up to be better equipped to live a longer, healthier health span. You're going to get more out of your life. That is the key.
Right.
That is longevity at its finest. It is not about, you know, these extreme fad diets or extreme calorie deficits or anything like that. It is really about a healthy, lean muscle mass. And you can get there. You don't have to go crazy bodybuilder, be big. Oh, protein's for bodybuilders. It's not. It's for everybody.
Right. But it used to be such a thing.
Sure.
Oh, like you make a protein shake after you work out. Like
Right.
that's the only time we make a protein shake.
Yeah.
Not true.
No, it's not. So, and that's what we encourage you guys to do is experiment with it and figure out what works best for you. And I'll tell you what works best for me is right after the gym and again in the mid-afternoon. And actually sometimes after dinner, it's dessert. Believe it or not, sometimes after dinner, I will have a scoop of protein and make it like a vanilla milkshake. And even though it's just in water.
Right, but it tastes good.
It tastes so good.
Yes, we are nut free. Yes, we are third party tested. Our
Yes,
certificates
metal
have been
testing is up
licensed.
there now, I think.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of our website. Will it be okay? Type 2 diabetes and heart disease,
Oh,
100%.
Yes.
100%. You need this. This will only help your conditions.
Will help you manage any chronic disease. I mean, that's really where it's at. Again, it's that.
This
You have to
protein will
move.
build cartilage.
Yeah, I mean, cartilage is made of protein. You'll see, we've already announced it, but collagen's coming out too. But yes, protein, of course, is part of cartilage.
Yeah, for sure.
And no, building it back, no. I don't think you can build back cartilage, to my knowledge. I have to double check that, but.
Okay, and I have a couple common questions that
Sure.
I get. Is there THC in our hemp?
No,
Okay,
it's not there.
not even the trace amounts that like, we talk about with our CBD oil.
Sure.
Okay, totally different process.
Yep, no THC in this product.
Right. We talked about why the whole thing is not USD organic.
Right.
Combinations to mix 100%. Mix this with what works for you. Like I said, my favorite is with our greens and our coffee
Mhm.
in a smoothie. Some people, you can put your reds in here. You can put your greens and your reds in here. Whatever works and makes it easier. And
That's
like
right.
Ryan said, typically have this as a dessert after dinner as well. Okay. You went into the little bit of the why vegan and not whey, right?
Oh, yeah. And exactly, I nailed on exactly why the plant-based protein has come so far with this fermentation process, making it a superior protein. Yeah, I'll mix it.
So
Sure.
simple
I'll
way,
mix them right now.
simple way to do it is just put in a cup of water, guys. There's no, and we have those shaker bottles. In the bottom of the shaker bottle, you can screw off the bottom cap. You can put a scoop in there and take this with you. You don't need anything fancy. Shake it up and drink it, guys. So easy. It says $22 for members, which is about $1.46 per serving. And if
Wow.
you're going to make this, like I say, myself as a meal replacement, adding 2, that's under $3 for my breakfast. I mean, try to go to Starbucks, plus with the coffee in there. So, $3.50, somewhere around there for my whole entire breakfast. And you go to Starbucks and you're paying $10 for something. It retails for $34 if you are not a member.
That makes sense to be a member for sure.
Totally makes sense to be a member.
Every product basically does. Crazy. So affordable. Yeah, I just don't see how else you can hit your protein goals with it. I really don't. And again, it's not our health advice to you. It's just kind of our recommendation and how we view protein. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Woo. Anyway, all right, what are some other questions? Let's look here.
Yeah, we got a few more.
I do love the flavor. I know we've been asked about chocolate. Yes, chocolate is in the plan.
Yes, we do know that other flavors are desired, but right now our focus also is to make more variety of products.
Yeah, and the chocolate will most likely be a bigger bag.
Yes, you can definitely use. So this is saying I need my coffee every day with my breakfast, so I don't get a headache. Can I use our organic coffee in the shake as a replacement for the morning coffee? 100%. That's what I do. I do not drink coffee otherwise during the week. I just put it in my shake. Are Are there plans to sell a bigger canister? Yes, we've talked about
Yes.
increasing that to a 30 serving for sure. Is it kosher?
It can be, it's not certified.
Right, but it is based on the ingredients.
Mhm.
All right, I think that was it for the questions. But if you guys have any other questions, where's our time? 20
Well,
minutes.
we're
Pretty
20,
good.
yeah, it's good. I mean,
feel
I
like
can
we have lots to talk about.
Oh, man, this is a passionate project for sure.
Yeah, try to cram it all
Topic.
in. But if you guys have any other specific questions, please feel free to email me, lisa@livegood.com. Love getting your questions and your comments. And don't forget on LiveGood testimonials on our Facebook page. Post what you guys are doing with our protein. Post how you love it, all right?
And that's awesome advice. Yeah. And just remember, as we talk about this product as a supplement to your diet, and nutrition is a big part of that, but don't forget the other aspects and pillars of health that we preach about. Always focus on that. Those are big and those very important. And exercise, the body movement, just to get out, the stress management, of course, the sleep. We focus so much on sleep. And, I think that, what was the other one? Oh, all right. Socialization. I was pretty, yeah.
Hydration.
Socialization, hydration. I mean, just, trying to incorporate more healthy living into your daily routine. So,
And the
all right.
goal is thriving, not surviving.
That's
guys.
right.
We want to do our very best
Jeez.
for our bodies and our health span.
Goodness gracious. All right, guys. Perfect. Way to go. Awesome Monday. Great start to the week. Let me figure out a way to get this thing out of the way so I can end this webinar.
All
Take
right,
care,
guys.
everybody. See ya.
Bye.